Things remain quiet on the lower East Rift zone of Kilauea Volcano and at the summit. No incandescent lava was visible in the Fissure 8 cone during the USGS Hawaiian Volcano Observatory morning overflight on Monday. USGS reported on Saturday that the Hawaii County Fire Department observed a small lava pond deep within the Fissure 8 cone during an overflight. The threat from passing Hurricane Lane prevented the scientists from making any additional observations. On Monday, that lava pond was apparently gone. Only one small ocean entry near Ahala Nui was visible during the USGS overflight. Steam persists on the flow field due to the heavy rainfall over the past several days. Water is seeping into still hot rock. Fissure 8 has no active lava, and it still has no name. A few weeks ago, the county introduced a resolution to encourage the State Board on Geographic Names to consult with community members who have direct traditional, cultural, and familial ties to the District of Puna to establish an appropriate name for the event. On August 22nd, the full council voted to approve the measure. Councilwoman Sue Lee Loy had an update.
I've heard back from the program manager for the Office of State Planning. They acknowledge that Kalani Makikau Whitaker, along with Pi'ilani Ka'avaloa and a few other stakeholders, were able to organize a working group to start discussing future names for the various features. Along with that, he also did acknowledge that they did receive one application already for the naming of the fissure. They have not reviewed it. And they will be actually taking it up at their next meeting. But I really do appreciate my colleagues' support on this because it really did empower the community to be in the driver's seat and be able to start looking at what's important to them and how the naming process for these new features will go forward. So having shared that, I continue to urge your support. Thank you.
This week, the Office of Hawaiian Affairs announced a second batch of checks from OHA's Natural Disaster Relief Program were released to 55 Native Hawaiian households to help them cope with the devastating impacts of the eruption. $250,000 in funds have been set aside for the emergency financial assistance. OHA shared these video interviews with impacted beneficiaries.
We appreciate what OHA had done. Every little bit of help that we can get is truly appreciated, and we thankful for the blessings. It's not easy to talk about, but it was our home. We was awakened by my sister-in-law who lived with us that the lava was right down the street. So we grabbed whatever we could and left. A lot of times going up, hear the older ones talk too much about certain things. But times change, and we need to talk so that those that come after us can understand.
I lost everything. I've lived in my home for 60 years. And to have the lava come down and totally wipe it out is hard, and I lost my husband 5 years ago, so it makes it harder on my part. But I'm grateful for all the help that I could get. I am very happy that you folks are helping me. I appreciate everything I get, Hawaiians, we got to stick together if we can. Try, yeah? That's all we can do is try.
On the first day, the lava flow was pretty exciting, from where we live. We get to see it, like the glow, the fountaining, And then after a while, like say the third day, the fumes started getting bad. My daughter, my wife told me, it's time to leave, we should go. So we left. We started packing up Saturday morning, and the only thing that I was concerned is, I have so much equipment, I don't think I could take it all. The hollow tile wall started cracking, and the board started ripping apart, and I said, that's okay, just make sure that, it's not safe to go in the house, but just check around, make sure everything's okay. This is going to be big help for me, really big. Fixing the hollow tile, that's for sure. And then, of course, try to replace the wood and stuff like that, the structures.